Hey guys, it's Dred. Today I have a new tag video for you that I just created. I'm super excited about this. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun because I love talking about makeup, and this is a subject that's a little touchy in the beauty community, I think, between subscribers and creators. And this is inspired by Jamie, who is one of my subscribers, who left a comment saying one of her biggest pet peeves is that creators do not use limited edition makeup on their channels. And that is true. That is a trend. That is a thing that I have definitely noticed when watching other people's channels, and definitely myself. When I go to put a tutorial together, I can't use that because it was limited edition. Like, people can't get it anymore. And like, why do we do this? Why don't we just celebrate makeup in our collections? So I actually pulled every single thing in my collection that I knew for sure was limited edition, and I put it in a big pile so that I would not forget anything. That being said, I bet there's still some stuff in my collection that I forgot was limited edition, and I don't want to include discontinued things, although those still have a place, like they can still be used too, but I didn't include anything that was like discontinued as opposed to it was launched as a limited edition product. There's 13 questions and I am super pumped. Okay, so I just want to celebrate limited edition right off the bat. So the first question is, what is your favorite limited edition product, hands down, period? And I actually surprised myself when I found out the answer, because like I said, I pulled everything and I didn't think it was going to be this, but when I looked at everything individually, I'm like, no, this is the thing I love using the most, and this is the thing I reach for the most, and I just enjoy it every time I use it. And it's the BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette. This, I think it was from last year, 2018, from the summertime. This is such a fun palette, and I am a huge lover of BH Cosmetics makeup, but especially eyeshadow. Like, they make such good eyeshadow. The foiled shadows are definitely like those ones that pop, that give you that burst of color, of metallic. They're so fun. And then the mattes blend really, really, really well. So they're super pigmented, like this orange here and this pink, for example. I use these a lot, and you can tell just by looking at them how the quality just is so good. Ooh, look at that. Like, it's so good. And it actually makes me sad. Like, I kind of think along the same lines as Jamie sometimes, where I want to use this kind of thing still on my channel. I want to use it, but I know that so many people who are either new to makeup or maybe missed it the first time, they're not going to be interested. They're maybe going to be annoyed because they can't get it anymore. And definitely those types of videos will get fewer views, which when you're a creator, it's about, well, for me anyway, it's about the community here and like what you guys want to see. And when so many of you don't respond to what I'm putting out, I'm like, oh, they don't want to see that, so I'm not going to make it. And even though there may be some people that really do want to see it, it's definitely a minority. And so you kind of have to put your time in the place where the most people are going to be the most happy. Second question is, what is the limited edition product that sees the most use from you? So if that is different from question number one, which for me it is, and there's a particular reason. These two products see the most use for me. These are both NARS eyeshadow palettes. This is the NARS Loaded palette. This came out summer, I want to say, of 2017. I'm fairly certain it was summer of 2017. And then this is the NARS Wanted palette, which I think came out at Christmas time that year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the right dates. Anyway, because for last year, I used this for the first 6 months of the year as my makeup use up palette. So my goal was to hit pan on, I think my original goal was 2 shades, but I ended up doing it for 1 shade. But you can see like all of the shades in here definitely saw a lot of use. And then this one was my makeup use up palette for the second half of last year, and it was the same goal. So I did hit pan on that one there. And then we saw a lot of use. We saw a little tragedy here when this fell and half of that shadow cracked. But I love both of these. They definitely have seen the most use out of any limited edition products in my collection for that particular reason. I think they're really good. This is my favorite palette, my favorite neutral go-to palette. So if I want to do just a regular, like basic, warm, neutral eye, this is what I go for. I love this taupey shade right here. Question number 3 is, what is a product that you use in real life but would never use in a tutorial? For me, there might be a few things, but this one definitely stands out. This is the Victoria Beckham Estee Lauder collab. I don't know if it's a collab. Is it a collab? I don't know. But anyway, it was her collection with Estee Lauder. And this is a single eyeshadow in Bitter Clove. The packaging on this is like so luxe, and every time I pull this out, like, this is heavy. It's just so luxe. I just love using it. It's even got a little mirror and a single shadow. So fun. But yeah, this Bitter Clove shade, this is one of my favorite eyeshadows in my entire collection, and it's so unique. You would look at this and say, what is unique about that? But it actually is. It has this really weird finish to it. So in a swatch, this looks like absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's just like a pretty kind of sparkly light taupe shade. But when you put this on the lid, it does this magical thing, and it does it over time. So when I first put this on the lid, it very much looks like this. It's just kind of like a sparkly beigey taupe. But throughout the day, what happens is that color kind of fades backwards, and the glitter almost gets pushed forwards in terms of the way your eye sees it. And I know that sounds really strange, and I don't even know if that was the intention of this, but for me, it looks so beautiful. It looks like a nude eye with just all this sparkle, and it's so pretty. But I would never use it in a tutorial, A, because you can't get it, and B, because it doesn't translate in that way on camera, and also when you first apply it, you don't see that effect. You really only see it throughout the day. So that's why I never ever use this on camera. Question number 4 is, what is the limited edition product that you regret missing out on? So for me, it was the Vlada and Smashbox collection highlighter. This beautiful rose highlighter, the packaging, so gorgeous. Last year when they came out, I really wanted it when it first came out. I was on a super low buy, so I had to kind of pass out of necessity, but also I kind of got these, like, I kept hearing from people that it wasn't that good, that it wasn't like as beautiful as they thought it was going to be. So I kind of felt good about not buying it. And then eventually I just kept seeing it pop up in people's like shop my stashes, and then people saying they loved it, and it just looks so beautiful. Well, that was my item until last week when Smashbox was doing a sale online, and they had them for 50% off and free shipping. So I ordered it. It hasn't come yet, but it is on its way to me. So I did regret missing out on it, but now it's on its way to me. Question number 5, what is the limited edition product that you regret purchasing the most? So why did I give in to the hype? Okay, this might open a can of worms, but I don't really care. I no longer support Kat Von D on my channel. I made a whole video about it, about the whole vaccination thing, and it's just my opinion. Most people agree with it, some people don't, whatever. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but I do use the Kat Von D products that I had previously purchased, like the Mi Vida Loca palette. The fact that that palette's formula is amazing, the color selection is gorgeous, that doesn't change because I no longer support her. But I have kind of realized that I was kind of a huge stan for Kat Von D before that whole revelation, and maybe too much so, because I loved that Mi Vida Loca palette so much. Like, in my eyes, she can almost do no wrong, right? And so when this came out, this Saint and Sinner palette, I was all over it. I did review it very fairly, I think, because I did point out a lot of cons to this palette. The color story is really weird. It's very difficult to kind of come up with looks unless you are extremely creative, because it's just kind of like so many random colors all over the place. Also, some of these shades in here are very finicky. So I did think I reviewed it in a very fair way, but I still kind of sang its praises in another way, because there are some beautiful colors in here, and I loved Kat Von D so much at the time. But looking back on this palette now in hindsight, I really do regret buying this, just because it was so expensive. Like, this was one of her holiday releases, and we all know holiday releases, like, they can be money. But I never really got a lot of use out of it because it is so weird to use for the color story and the finicky shades. I still would like to use it, but because, like I said, I don't really use her products on camera, or I just don't use her products on camera. I just don't see myself using it really at all in life. So that one gets no use at all anymore. Question number 6. A limited edition product you are happy that you passed on. You're happy that you didn't purchase. I wanted to include this question just because I think a lot of people will have an answer for it. But for me personally, I don't really have an exact answer. There are so many things that come along. I want to say holiday is the worst for me. And I think it's the worst for a lot of people because there are so many limited edition launches. So many of them get so hyped up by people on Instagram and YouTube and brands and influencers and all that kind of thing. And it's like, oh, it's the new hotness, right? And everybody wants it. And then January comes and you never hear about them again. And the thing is, like, once I forget about something, I usually forget about it. And so for this question, there's so much that I'm glad that I didn't buy for that reason, because it's all hype. But there's not necessarily one thing that I can pull out. I kind of went back on Trendmood and looked. There's a few things like, remember that Moschino and Sephora Bear palette? That was so cool and cute looking, but I remember at the time even thinking, there's no way. Like, it's so bulky. It's like the shape of an actual 3-dimensional bear. Like, where are you gonna put this thing? Also the Urban Decay Elements palette, like, I was really interested in that. And really, Urban Decay in general and their limited edition stuff, I feel like they just haven't been able to get traction at all in the last couple of years. They put out so much limited edition stuff palette wise, and it gets hyped for like a couple weeks when it first launches, and then it goes on sale and goes on clearance and you never hear about these things again. So yeah, there are a lot of things that I'm glad that I passed on. Question number 7, any limited edition products that have special memories associated with them? I think this is huge with limited edition stuff. We can usually tie it to a time in our life or a gift that was given or that kind of thing. For me, this palette is really special to me, and I hope that I never declutter this. I don't think I will. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills World Traveler palette. It's a beautiful palette. This has seen a lot of use for me as well. This is kind of broken, like this is broken. It's just glue, but it's not really attached well anymore. This is one of the first high-end palettes that I ever really purchased, and it's really associated with my channel because I use this a lot on my channel, and it showed up in a lot of faves when I first got my channel. First had a channel like 3-ish years ago. But not only that, I remember traveling, like this is the palette I like to take with me when I travel because it's so easy to use, and also I really, really love this brush. Like, it actually is a useful brush. And I remember taking this to my grandmother's house when I made a special, like, you ever take your first grown-up trip where you like pay for it all yourself and you make a decision to go on a trip somewhere, and yeah, it's like you fly by yourself, you know. I had this trip to my grandma's house, brought my son with me, and it was just a really good family time. And I don't get to see her very much because she lives in another province very far away. And anyways, so I remember using this at her house, and it just, like, I don't think that I will ever be able to shake that memory from this palette. So yeah, this definitely has a lot of good memories associated with it. Question number 8 is there a limited edition product in your collection that you never use, but you just can't seem to let it go or declutter it? And for me, that is this, hands down. This is MAC Whisper of Guilt Extra Dimension Skin Finish. It's a highlighter. This came out 2017 holiday. This is so beautiful. So this is from the Snowflake collection. Like, look at this packaging and look at the snowflake inside. I actually decided to wear this today just for the video because, you know, I wanted you guys to be able to see as much of this stuff on my face as possible. And it's funny because I actually have this highlighter from the MAC collection the previous year in the Nutcracker collection. Here it is right here. This is a blush and highlighter duo from the Nutcracker collection. This is the exact same highlight as this, but even though I had already owned this, I still needed this because of the snowflake and the packaging. But really, I never use either one of these, but I sometimes use the blush in this one. But this one I especially, like, never use, and I really only bought it because of the way it looked. So yeah, this never sees any use for me, but I just can't declutter it because it is so pretty. And even though that has amazing packaging, it is not the answer to my next question. We all know that so much of the reason that we buy limited edition makeup is because of the packaging. Like, they make it so cute, so beautiful, so luxe, so wonderful, so enticing that I see it all the time in people's declutters. I can't get rid of this because of the packaging. I never use it. I love the packaging. It's the most beautiful packaging, etc. So this question is, what is the limited edition product with the best packaging that you own? For me, even though that MAC is so gorgeous, there is a brand that does limited edition stuff so beautifully, and it's not a very well-known brand. This is Lise Watier. So this is a Canadian brand. These are from the Glam Celebration collection, which was, again, 2017 holiday, I believe. 2017 was a banging holiday. Look at this. So it's this black, like, this is almost like rocks in a way, but it's like glitter. I don't know, it's really interesting. And then we've got the rhinestone W, and then same on the little eyeshadow. Like, look at these, they are just incredible. And then inside is just as nice. So this is the Glam Celebration blush. It doesn't have a name other than that, but this has a city in here. I'm not really sure what city it's supposed to be. It did have an overspray, so anytime I ever use it, I only use it on this side so that I don't get rid of all of the overspray. Anyway, this is the blush that I'm wearing today. It's definitely a deeper tone, and so I really only wear this in the wintertime, in the fall, you know, those times of year. And then Lise Watier this year for 2018 holiday, wasn't as impressed, but still this one product screamed to me and I had to get it. This is the Neige highlighting powder. So this is the outside, which is gorgeous all to itself, but the inside is just like, really. And it's not even that expensive. Like, Lise Watier is, it's higher up, but it's kind of like Estee Lauder pricing, if that puts it in perspective for anybody. Question number 10 is, what is the limited edition product with the best formula? When I pulled everything together, I didn't expect to pick this, but when I really thought about it, it really did come out on top. This is the Sephora Pro Editorial Palette. Now, I always had a question of whether this was actually limited edition or not, because this I've had now for over 2 years, and it is still for sale on the Sephora website. You can still get this, and it says limited edition on there, and it said it when I first bought it. So I don't know, but I'm going with that because that's what it says. Very colorful. I like to think known for colorful eyeshadow looks now at this point. And this is the palette that I used today on my eyes. I love this palette. This has some trickiness to it as well. I want to say that all of the mattes are amazing. So everything in this row and this row that is matte is like just phenomenal in terms of pigmentation and blendability. The purples, like, look at how opaque that color is when you look at it. So it does not require a lot of building up to get to a very pigmented point, yet you can still sheer it out. It's a really good formula for the mattes. These ones on the top row, I don't really play with very much. It's the top row, but it's the bottom row right now when I hold it like this. These are all mainly like duochromes. I'm not a huge fan, although this silver is really fantastic. And all of these up here are either glitters or, what's the word? Metallic, like silvers. Not silvers, but just metallic is the right word. Some of them do require a glitter glue for you not to get fallout, but they all are beautiful. And like, look at that one. Just amazing. There's that silver. Question number 11. Are there any products that you do not mind using on camera, even though your subscribers cannot get them? And for me, there are very few. Like I said, definitely not eyeshadow palettes. I don't like using those if they're if you can't get them. But I don't have a problem using limited edition lipsticks. I don't know why. It's just something, like, I feel like there's so many dupes out for lipsticks maybe that it doesn't really matter as much, that people are more forgiving. And MAC especially is known for limited edition lipsticks. This one is from the Nicki Minaj collab. This is Nicki's Nude. I really like this one. I wear it a lot. It shows up a lot in my every lipstick I wore this month video. This is one of my oldest ones, but I really love it. This is Kelly Yum Yum. It's the Kelly Osbourne matte collab, and it's like bright pink, but it looks so good on. I really love that one a lot. And then the one I'm wearing today, I'm pretty sure you can get it still. This is the BH Cosmetics It's My Ray Ray collab, and this one is called Rosy Ray, and this is a liquid lipstick, and I just got this very recently, which is why I'm pretty sure you can still get it. It's like a really pretty rosy, deeper mauvey nude, and it smells so good. Like, this scent is so nice. 2 more questions. They're really simple and really fun. Number 12, what is the current limited edition product that you really want, that you're lusting over? I've really been lusting after the Through My Eyes palette from ColourPop. It's one of the I Love Sarah Yee collabs. She collabs with them all the time. But yeah, this one is so pretty, and I did order it, and it is on its way to me, and I'm super excited. I can't wait to use it like in tutorials on Instagram. And then question number 13 is, what is the current limited edition product that you are anti-hauling? What are you saying no to? Full stop no. For me, this was so easy. The Erica Jane and Too Faced collab stuff, I think, is just, it's so much hype, and I actually really like her. I've liked her. I used to watch all the Housewives. I haven't had time recently in the last few years, but I used to watch them, and I really, really liked her. But this collab, like the eyeshadow palette, is just everything you've always seen before. It's all metallic, pretty neutrals and nudes in one palette. Like, nobody's gonna say no to it, but it doesn't really go along with her personality, and it certainly doesn't go along with the marketing for this collab, which is that it's all like so extreme. We need to put caution tape all over everything. No, I expected that palette to be like something amazing. It's like just the most neutral, boring thing you've ever seen. It's like the most homogenized badassness that you can find is what they did, because you took Erica Jane, who is this sexified sex goddess, and you basically toned her down to match up with Too Faced, which is, as we know, cutesy chocolate. Like, you know, the two things just don't really work together. So that is it for this tag. I hope that you really enjoyed. I hope that this can bring some understanding to both sides. Like, I know what it's like to be a subscriber, I know what it's like to be a creator, and I know there's a lot of frustration on both sides about limited edition stuff, when to use it, when not to. We want to see more, and like, you know, so let's just talk about it in the comments. I hope that there are other creators out there that want to do this tag and just kind of rediscover your limited edition stuff, and also kind of put out your thoughts on it. I can't wait to see certain people's thoughts. I've tagged a bunch of people down below in my description bar. If you want to see anybody do this tag, if you want to do it, that's amazing too. Tag me on social media. But if you want to see any of your favorite creators do it, please let them know as well, and tag them on social media. Please don't harass anybody, but definitely tag them if you want them to see it. And subscribe if you're new here. If this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, I'm so happy that you stopped by. And that's it. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I hope that you're speaking kindly to yourself, especially when you look in the mirror. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.